Okay. And
And welcome to this first episode of UTI, also Trail Investment Channel. And I'm Renee, and this is my lovely wife.
Hi, I'm Lisamarie.
And we are going to put our little board to the test and see how it pans out to see if she can get a decent score on her ultra trail. So I don't know what race she picked, so uh, I'm sure when she starts going through it, it'll feel familiar. But until then, I was musing about who should be the first one to go on here, and she yelled from the bedroom, pick me. And so I sent her an email with this.
So this email comes, and I'm like, why is he emailing me from the other room? But inside it said, disclosure, do not tell me which race. And then there was some stuff for me to print. Or I could have left it there, but it's probably fun to print it and read it myself. And I had to fill it out. It was pretty easy. There was like a tiny bit of research, but when you see it, you'll understand.
Yeah. So I have a spreadsheet open, and we're just going to put in the numbers and see what comes out of it. So we have two parts of the score. We got an ROI, which is return on investment. These are just hard numbers that you can't really do anything. They're not really personal. And then we have the UT score, which is the ultra trail score. If I ultra tail, tales from the crypt, um, which is more of your personal experience of the race. And that combining those two scores into a UTI score. So let's get started. So time. So how much running time did you spend on this race?
11 hours and 17 minutes.
Okay. Okay, I'm putting that in here. And what about travel time? How much travel time did you have?
That was 12 hours and 30 minutes. And that was with some air travel and Uber and then a mile walk.
Okay.
A mile walk.
Okay.
It'll make
Well,
sense later.
yeah. So getting all that in, you have a time ROI of 0.47, which means that you spend less than half of your time actually running.
Which, okay. So,
But
which means,
so that you have two options here to increase the score. You can run slower
no.
or you can travel less. I'm just saying,
Wow. Okay.
you should not be spending more time traveling than running.
Okay.
I have from good authority that's a rule of thumb. Um, okay, let's go to the cost ROI. So, how much was the race fee?
Okay. So this was in another country and I had to figure out how it all exchanges over. So I'm assuming with my math, it'd be $365.
Okay, 360. That's a bad price.
Yeah.
What was your travel cost?
It was around $1,000, and that included airfare, hotel. Oh, that's what the travel. Yeah, the travel and the Uber. Yes, Uber's cost
Yeah, they do. Okay, so that was quite some traveling. Nutrition.
$60.
That's bad.
I worked for a renting company at the time, so it was half off.
Don't want to hit on half off. Um, shoes.
$100.
Well, that's the same as I paid for my shoes when they're on sale.
Yeah, or
Not anymore. And then essentials. So, what did you spend on essential, and what are your essentials?
okay, $60.
Okay.
Again, I worked for a renting company, so half off. What I bought was girls nut butter, some Injinjis, a first aid kit. My shorts were Brooks and aid station funds.
Aid station funds.
Yeah, money for the aid station.
Okay. That's a novel concept.
And an
But
essential.
we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. Okay, so your costs ROI is 0.23, which means that race fee was less than a quarter of your total cost. So I would go for a more expensive race or lower your travel expenses.
So how I hear is a D minus. I got a D minus on this.
Yes.
And I heard that I could spend more.
No. I guess that is what I said.
It is what she said.
Okay. So now we have the results. So was this a timed race or was it a fixed distance?
Fixed distance.
Okay, fixed distance. So we know your finishing time was 11 hours and 17 minutes.
Yes.
What was your goal time?
13 hours.
13. Okay. And what was the time limit for the race?
18.
Okay. So that gives you a result score of 0.34. Okay. It's okay. I have noticed. I don't know if that's good or bad because it's like a two-component thing. Anyways, so your total ROI was 0.34. And I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll find out when other people come with their results. Then we can start.
It still feels like a D minus.
Okay. Let's move on to the fun stuff. That now get to your personal experience.
Okay.
So how are you going to score the aid station from 1 to 10?
Well, you didn't give me the option for a 0, so I opted for a 1.
A 1. Okay. Why is that? That sounds horrible.
Okay, well, a little bit of it was that I was a foreigner in a foreign land, and so the aid station was different than what it
Right.
was here, and that's fine. You just adjust. But that wasn't what the one was about. It was about the porta potties, which didn't exist. You had to go in this. It's like towels, and you go in there, and you're peeing in a bucket that everyone missed. I stepped in poop. I don't know.
You what?
I stepped in poop.
Oh my God.
Those who run with me have always seen me like I see a porta potty. I'm like, yes, that is the reason why.
Okay, so to future RDs and for RDs of future races, put a gold star on your
Yep.
photo.
Yeah. But there was the other aspect. So there was limited aid stations with limited food and limited things. So I said that I had to bring money for aid stations. So you had to purchase your stuff. So you go running along a road and you're dying because you're so thirsty. And you're like, I wish I could find some ice. Well, then boom, there is a bunch of people right there. They have ice and they have water and they have Cheetos and Doritos and sandwiches and jerky. I don't know, a lot of things. And you could buy it. And I did.
That explained the aid station fund.
Yes, that was the aid station funds.
Okay. You said ice.
Ice, yes, and Coke, and
So it's a hot race.
very, very hot race. I mean, you're so appreciative. You don't care. They could charge $1 million and you would pay it because you'd want that ice. I stuck it under my hat. I know it's nasty, but I stuck it under my hat and then pull a piece out and suck on it. And
Okay.
you asked.
I did not really, but okay. Okay. Now, how is the fun factor? Was it between 1 and 10?
10.
10?
10.
So despite the horrible aid station, you gave it a 10 on the fun.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. You want to know what?
I do want to know why.
Well, I love running. I love the ultra running community. I do. I think y'all are great. But in a foreign country, that is freaking awesome. They have the best stories. They have all kinds of tips and tricks, and I use them today. And they're just so knowledgeable. But it's the camaraderie. The friendships are forever. I mean, it's like a tie that binds. And it doesn't need to have the blood relative thing to it.
No.
Though you may shed blood together, but
Yeah. When you fall.
But the fun factor was like, okay, there were bridges and some of the steps were gone. And I'm telling you, people are running across this and there's raging rivers or just nothing down there. You could like die. And yeah, there was that. That was fun. But this isn't a country that everything can kill you. So you're either running up a volcano, lollipop style, or you're running down into the jungle and the rainforest. And everything beautiful down there can kill you. And
Any snakes?
I saw stuff moving. I'm sure there was some giant pythons in there. I'm positive of it. Or it could have been
Spiders.
sloth and definitely spiders.
Oh,
The prettier ones
okay.
will kill you. So my goal, that's why I had a shorter goal. Didn't care what it was going to take. I was going to be done before dark. That was the whole thing. Be done before dark. Fun factor. Yes.
Okay. Okay then. Trail markings. What score would you give that from 1 to 10?
I'm going to give it a 5. Again, that falls under the fun factor. So there was a limited amount of trail markers as we know them, but there were some there and like signs that were hand drawn. That was pretty cool. But most of the markings were in the human style. So you would see a truck up at the top of the mountain of the false hill, the false summit, and you think, oh my God, it's ice and water. No, there was a man standing up there and he would have his finger and go that way, or hey, you need to go that way, or no, you're going the wrong way. So you had the hand signals.
Okay.
But you had to be responsible for yourself. It was that kind of race.
Okay. Sounds like fun. Hence the 10 fun fact. What about the weather?
I gave that a 10
Okay.
because it was just potpourri of weather. It was hot, but it was more like Kansas in June, late June, Arizona in August, and Louisiana year round. So if you
Right.
weren't hot and dying from the sun when you're in desert, you were actually in like the rainforest and it was so humid. And I dropped so much weight during this race.
Okay. So you like the weather.
I did. I was living in that area, and you'll find out where later at that time. And I lived in Louisiana previously, so I was used to the humidity.
All right.
And I grew up in New
Yeah.
Mexico, so I was used to the heat.
Yeah. What about pacers?
No, paced myself.
Okay. What about crew?
I crewed myself.
Okay then. So we'll leave them out of the score. Pistas and chafing.
I used squirrel's nut butter. I had none.
None. So score 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give that a 10 because I had none.
So you don't like pistas.
I don't get them. I had one, just one
Okay.
ever.
Trail nap comfort. And let's just say trail nap is either when you decide to take a nap or if you fall.
Okay, so I had one fall, and it was in the rainforest on top of like probably 100 feet of rainforest. Yes. And so it was like a mattress. It was nothing. And then I decided to take a siesta without sleeping in a river because it was just so hot. And somebody comes along and goes, there's leeches in there. And that was the fastest I've ever gotten up in my life.
Yeah. Okay. I can imagine that.
Yeah. And I remember that the person running the race with me, I'm like, oh, please look for leeches. And he just stood there and laughed. He just thought, I was like,
Yeah.
what
I,
do you
I,
do back?
I would do the same. Okay. So what score did you give the trail nap? 1 to 10.
Um, Let me see. I guess I gave that a trail nap comfort as a 10, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So it was a comfortable fall.
Well, it was a comfortable fall. There was no blood, no.
And you didn't get any leeches on you? Okay. Mental state. What score would you give your mental state?
I'm gonna give it a 10
Okay.
because I didn't have any hallucinations.
Right.
But the mental state was like crazy. When you have so much heat, you just kind of things get the little things can go big quick. So there's times that I was so hot, and there were these people walking by, and they were smart. They had umbrellas built onto their hats, staying out of there. I saw men crying on the side, coming to the top of the lollipops and seeing another summit there, and it was devastating.
Yeah, you can imagine.
Yeah, and so at times I just would take a moment, a private moment to myself. I didn't cry or anything. I never thought about quitting, but I just had to take a moment and just say,
So you felt mentally strong.
yes, mentally, very mentally strong. But there was also an instance that I was getting ready to run back through the jungle, and I heard this, and I laughed, and I'm afraid of dogs. I was chased by dogs when I was little. I mean, I've got some little scars right here. So all I could think of is that this wolf that was going to be something as large as like on the movie Twilight, gonna come out of the woods and definitely eat me for dinner. And so another runner was kind of picking up on my freaking out, and we both picked up like these spear kind of bamboo sticks, and we're ready to fight. And we're running as fast as we can through the jungle. I mean, really, really, really fast, like dangerously fast. And you see this farmer over there, and there's this woof, woof behind us. And I'm like, dude, you gotta run. There's a giant dog chasing us. And he starts laughing while his little dog is going woof into anywhere. This dog is like this big. It did not match the dog. The bark and the dog did not match. So
So it was a small dog identifying as a big dog.
exactly, exactly. So, and we could hear the laughter coming behind us, but what can you do?
Okay. Hallucinations?
None.
None?
None. That would
Okay.
come much later.
Okay, we will leave that out of
Yeah.
the score as well. So what about the race you ran versus the description of the race?
We all know RDs embellish or de-embellish. So, some of it's my fault. So the race had said,
Can you repeat that?
what?
Some of it was my fault. I've never heard you say that.
Okay, some of it was my running partner's fault, not necessarily my fault. So the race said 1800, and if I had looked down, I would have noticed the word meters, and I read it as 1800 feet. Now, where I'm living at that time is on the equator, and it's flat.
Yeah.
Like I could run that. That's not a problem. So, it never occurred to me is why are so many hours into this race? But anyway, yeah. So the trail markings and stuff, that would factor into it. It was about 9,000 feet. It was straight up, straight down, lollipop, and
Just look up here.
yeah, it was crazy. It was manageable, of course, but I'm just saying that they could have easily wrote for you Americans on there. This is meters, and or my running partner could have said, I'm from Europe, and this is not in America.
I say to accommodate the only country in the world that doesn't use the metric system, you can write it in feet as well. Sorry.
Yeah, and they could have put in there that we had to bring our own aid station food money.
I actually think that would have been fair.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, because I'm sure a lot of people that if they didn't know and no one had told them, they would be in trouble running a hot race like that and not knowing that you'll actually have to pay for your ice and stuff along the way.
But they were honest about the volcano and the jungle,
right?
And everything can kill you. It basically said on the bottom, if it looks pretty, it can kill you.
Okay. So your UT score is 6.1.
Ooh.
Yeah, that means you rated a lot better than not a lot. You rated a little better than so. On average.
On average, I thought that was a huge good rating. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think what dragged it down was really the aid station.
Okay.
Because you gave it a 1, and that really takes the whole thing down.
If I'd given it a 0, then it wouldn't have counted, right?
Then it wouldn't have counted. Well, it would have counted, but it would have dragged your score even further down. So, okay. And now combining your ROI of 0.34 with your UT score of 6.1, you end up with a UTI score of 0.55. And I should just say that the ROI and the UTI score are both somewhere between 0 and 1. The UT score can go up to 10. So yeah, not bad.
Okay.
So this is how it works. And let's reveal what race this was.
Okay. Before I reveal it, I will tell you that I did manage to take 3rd place on the Masters.
That's
and
good.
I think it was 7th over. No, excuse me. I'm sorry, 11th gender overall. And so again, it was a fabulous race, and I really shocked myself. So
Awesome.
shocked others.
Yeah.
So the country, this was in Malaysia, and the island of Borneo.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. I know she's been pointing at me this whole thing. I've been accused of not reading the meters right, and I've been accused of laughing at her. So, yeah, I did this race as well. So,
But there is a little ending to this story. So this did happen in 2020, March of 2020, and the day after this race, this part of the world shuts down. So there was no plane travel into Singapore, and which where we were living. And
yeah,
we were the last flight
we were the last flight in before the world shut down.
before the world shut down. So I am very grateful to the race. I would love to have given it higher in other areas, but you know what? For the time that it was, and
What was the distance, by the way?
it was a 50K.
50K.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done to this day.
Yeah.
If there's a map up there, you'll see why. But it was good. It was really good. And let's see if anyone has a suggestion for a race that I can top something like that. Let me know. Okay, so
I've heard that the Hard Rock 100 is something like that.
I don't know. Haven't ran it.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. So this will be the end of the first podcast, but hold up, don't go anywhere.
There's more.
There's more. So if you want to be on this podcast, there's two ways you can do it. You can come into the comments below and you can pick me, or you can go ahead and message one of us, and we're going to put your name in the hat. And then midweek, we will pick it out live, and we will send you one of these, and we'll get you on.
Yeah.
But we're not only looking for runners, we are looking for pacers. You'll have your own little sheet too. Crew, maybe your family, you want to come on and talk about the run or how stupid we are. Love to hear that. Anybody who sweeps a trail, if you run an aid station, or maybe
if you've been crewing someone, we want to hear about that.
And if you work a pizza house and all the runners come in afterwards and you want to have your say, we'll take you too. But
wow, okay, we're good throwing out a big net here and hoping to catch something.
Yeah.
But if you're a runner and you want to go through this and tell us your story about a race, well, let us know in the comments and we will get in touch with you. And let's just say we are not looking for the perfect race. We are looking for a race with a great story, even if the score is low.
Yes.
We want to have fun and we want to hear about your story.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where you are the hero.
Yeah.
So, but wait, there still is one more thing we have to
One more thing.
Okay, so within all this, we've decided to also add another channel, and mine will be the Sweet Spot After Dark, and yours will be
Alchemy After Dark.
So mine, say that you're a crew member and that your runner is watching and saying, oh, wait, I have a rebuttal. We can do rebuttals. But
be fun.
That should really be fun. But also, we can talk about anything you want. So if you want to talk about running, if you want to talk about a topic like maybe a crazy movie you watched, or maybe just anything but politics, we will talk about. And please email me with your topic and when you're available. And then his is about
pretty much anything. Whatever topic comes to mind. I have a few people I'm pretty sure is gonna be fun having a discussion about beer, photography, astronomy, arachnoids. I got plenty of ideas for things to talk about, and we could be something completely random. Just talking shit. But as before, no politics. We want everyone to come on and we will have fun.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Thank you all for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
We kiss.
3, 2, 1. Step by step, I've walked 100 miles, and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wandered so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I find my way. get off of this lonely road.
Can you hear me? Tell me, can you hear me? I've been calling out for help, still don't see nobody near me. I'm down and almost underground and so deep in the valley, I can't even tell you which way is the mountain. God, the only word I got, I could probably plant a garden, all this dirt I got. Trail of broken hearts behind me from the hurt I bought. Sometimes I really start to wonder if I deserve my spot. Cause I'm just a man who's got blood all on his hands, but does a humble sinner still